Well, while we continue to count down the days to November's midterms, the average age of a member of Congress is now at the average of 58 years old. That's nearly a year older than the previous Congress. The interesting note here is by 2024, millennials and Gen Z voters are on track to become the largest voting group in the U.S. And as we know, younger voters typically vote on social issues. So how is the GOP addressing the shift? Let's welcome in two young Republican congressional candidates, 33-year-old Max Miller, who is running for Ohio's 7th District, and 25-year-old Karoline Leavitt, who is running in New Hampshire's 1st District. Welcome to both of you. Karoline, I'll start with you. All right, so there isn't a lot of young blood in Congress. What do you feel your youth brings to the table if you are elected?
Well, my opponents like to think that my youth is my greatest weakness, but I beg to differ. It's absolutely our greatest strength on this campaign. And voters want fresh energy. They want youthful perspectives that are going to go down to Washington, D.C. and shake up the system on both sides of the aisle. There are folks down in Congress that have been down there twice as long as I have been alive. They don't understand the issues that everyday Americans are struggling with, especially under this administration. And so that's exactly why I'm running. And that's why we're going to win on November 8th, to bring a new, vibrant energy to Washington and really offer real solutions to the plethora of issues that the people of my district and across this country are facing.
Yeah, just to be clear, Nancy Pelosi's 3 times your age, Karoline. just to be clear, Max, you know, it's funny, I've done my share of campaigns over the years, and when you think about the people that, sometimes are in campaign headquarters or that fill up a lot of the volunteer ranks, a lot of them are older volunteers, especially on the Republican side. Do you find that because you're a younger candidate that you've attracted a lot more younger people to your campaign that are willing to volunteer or be part of this effort?
Absolutely. And Sean, I'll give you a great example. I went to a 100% Democrat event 2 weeks ago. I was the only Republican who was there, and I took a look around the room, and I couldn't find a young Democrat if you tried. It seems as if they could pay these people and they wouldn't show up. But yet you go to a young Republicans event, or you just go to a Republican event in general, and what you're finding is you're finding people my age, a lot younger than me, who are coming over to the Republican Party in droves because what they see every single day is woke and cancel culture throughout their generation. They see that they're being muted. They see that they're not being treated as an American and as a second-class citizen. And I feel as if you're looking at a younger generation who's going to go into Congress on day one and have that drive and that fight to keep on pushing and to keep on being that voice of the silent majority that has long been not represented until President Trump came into office in 2017.
Karoline, does your age pose any challenges on the campaign trail? I mean, do you sense that some people don't take you seriously because of your age? How do you deal with that?
Well, first of all, I think it's my greatest asset because it takes a lot of work to win a primary and now to flip a district red. And so I have the energy to do it. But when voters ask about my age or question me on it, and look, it's a fair question to ask, what I tell them, particularly to Republican voters, is if you want to keep our party alive, it starts by electing young, conservative voices like myself to every level of our government. Because while young people, like Max said, are coming to our party in droves, the facts prove that unfortunately my generation, Generation Z, is still voting overwhelmingly Democrat. And so it's going to take young conservative voices like myself and my friend Max Miller to really wake up the hearts and minds of Generation Z and millennial Americans across this country. And that's how we're going to win elections, and that's how we're going to save our country from the Democrat socialist rule.
Yeah. You know, Max, yesterday President Biden announced that he's going to pardon Americans with prior federal marijuana possession charges. Let me play you what he said.
As I said when I ran for president, no one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana. Too many lives have been upended because of our failed approach to marijuana. It's time that we right these wrongs.
You know, Max, Lindsay and I talked about this at the beginning. I think this is literally just a political play for young voters 30 days out from the midterms.
You know what, Sean? What he should have just said is, I'm going to release all of you from federal prison for a pardon so you can all vote for me. Because that's what it's all about. I mean, let's call balls and strikes where they're at. He doesn't want to focus on the issues because he can't defend them. So what he continues to do with his administration is he just pulls the wool over the American people's eyes. Gas prices start to drop. That's because he's dipping into our artificial reserves and our oil reserves that we have and artificially lowering the gas prices. He says something like this because he knows he can't talk about energy independence, the supply chain issues that we see, the labor shortage within our country, the fentanyl that's flowing across our open southern border, which everyone who's crossed that border is a felon. He doesn't want to talk about the real issues, and that's what the Democrat Party has put in place. They want to focus on social and moral issues because they can't defend President Biden's record on the economy and the destruction that he's brought to the American people. And that is going to end when I get elected into Congress and when my friend Karoline right beside me right here on day one, when we go in and we take the charge. Too long Republicans have been talking. The talking is over. We're here for action. We're here to get work done for the American people and to fight for them.
All right, Max Miller, Karoline Leavitt, good luck in these final 32 days.
Thank you.